Good evening, everyone, and welcome to part 3 of the Look Finance SEQFC Preview Show with thanks to Vilic Law. And it's the Sunshine Coast edition of the show. We've got 2 guests with us tonight. We've got Phil Dillon, who's the media manager at the Wanderers. Good evening, Phil.
Hi, Darren. How are you, mate?
Very well, thank you. And we've got Daniel Carew, and his nickname's DK, but his initials are DC. Daniel, what is the story?
I can't say it on air.
Gotta make your mind up, man.
Party a lot. I used to party a lot back in the day. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right.
But no, it was. A lot of people originally think it's got to do with Donut King because I own a Donut King store. So I've just run with that. So yeah, that's been the main reason why a lot of people have thought my nickname was DK. Is got to do with Donut King. So let's just go with that one. It makes it easier for me to explain. Yeah, no, it's.
We'll get the real version after we go off air, I reckon.
Possibly.
Exactly. All right, so let's start with the NPL. And, of course, the Sunshine Coast Wanderers took on Peninsula Power on the weekend. And they went down 4-1. Phil, you were telling me just before the scoreline may not be an accurate reflection of the game.
Yeah, it's. I'm sure Paul Arneson would say it is a game of missed opportunities for the Wanderers. They had 2 chances earlier in the first half. Both fell to Riley Campbell. On another day, he puts them in the back of the net and they go 2-0 up or 1-0 up or whatever, and it's a different game. And then by the same token, just before half-time, 2 aberrations, I suppose you'd say, in the home defence. The 2 goals in a minute. So they go in 2-0 up, and it's it's all pen power. But I think a lot of people that watched that first half would say that the Wanderers were in it, and that when they got back to 2-1 in the second half, it looked like they were the better team at that stage as well. But then shot themselves in the foot again by conceding another sloppy goal just straight after they'd got it back to 2-1. Sorry, I think Jeremy Stewart missed a chance at 2-1, which could have made it 2-2. If you'd taken that again, they got the ascendancy. Could have easily gone on to get a draw or even nick to win. So it was definitely a game of missed chances, I would say, rather than necessarily a dominant performance from Peninsula Power. It was pretty scrappy game, I think, all in all. And it was never really a game that Wanderers got a hold of at any stage, except for patches. They were probably the better side before Power scored, but then gave 2 goals away. So you can't afford to give goals away against a side of that quality.
That result, it didn't hurt the Wanderers too badly in that all the other teams around them, except for the Brisbane Strikers, got wins. So bottom of the ladder, Redlands United on 13 points, Brisbane City, the Wanderers on 14, Eastern Suburbs on 15. Now, the important thing is this weekend, Wanderers are taking on Capalaba, who are they've moved up to 7th place on 20 points. They've had a good little run recently. How do you see that one going, Phil?
It's going to be a very tough game. I think the next 2 games for Wanderers would arguably define their season, because they got Redlands on Tuesday night at away. So obviously that so what you would call it a 6-pointer at this stage of the season. But Capalaba, tough side, very tough side. It's going to be hard for the Wanderers. It's I'm sure Arnie will have them up for it, but it'll be tough. It'll be a really hard game. There'll be no, they won't go in there light. It'll be hard for them. They know it's going to be hard.
Quite fiery last time, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think because of what happened in the finals last year, maybe because or close to the end of the last season, maybe because they both came up from the QPL, didn't they? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they know each other from last year as well as this year. So there'll be a few probably scores to settle, I would imagine.
Should be an interesting fixture. All right. Moving over to the FQPL. Now, Sunshine Coast Fire had a 0-0 draw against Ipswich Knights. It's always tough to go to Eric Evans and perform on that sleepy Sunday afternoon. Let's have a look and see who they're playing this weekend. They are taking on Southside Eagles, so a good opportunity again for them to get some points. Mel Wilkes, the chairperson, the CEO, the man who does everything at the Fire, who runs the show, he'll actually be with us next week. So looking forward to having Mel on and having a chat about that. Daniel, I'm hearing that you and Mel have been in discussion recently.
I've had discussions. I've had an interview as such. There's no point, I guess, keeping those sort of secrets. It's Sunshine Coast; it gets out super quick. So, but I've had interviews, and so we'll see what's on the table, and then go from there. But I'm like anything, I'll listen to any offers and opportunities. I think for myself, I've had plenty in the past. Nothing's really sat for me to make that move, so I'll wait and see what the offer is and how it looks, and see if it suits me, and we'll make a decision hopefully the next coming weeks. So hopefully I can put it to bed. It's been good. It's always nice to be wanted. It's always nice to sort of be doing good things and be approached for them. So I can't complain.
With Mel on the show next week, maybe you can do the big reveal.
Like a gender reveal.
Well, nobody wants to see the big reveal, do they? Honestly.
Yeah.
One saying yes, one saying no. All right. So, what about the Sunshine Coast Fire next week? We'll with Mel on the show, we'll talk about them in much more detail. Now, let's move to the McDonald's Premier Men competition, and it was a good weekend for you, DK.
It was. Yeah, we got a win. It was good. It was tough. It was a tough game. Calandra's always tough. It's always a tough game. Obviously, we've got there's I wouldn't say history as such. I think it's just more the fact that there's a lot of got a couple of boys from Caloundra. Obviously, I know them quite well. I know Dale very well, and it's always a good contest. But we got the win, and Cam on the score sheet again. He just pops up at the right times at the moment. So it was. Look, they scored a good goal. Kobe Fuller again, good player. Scored a great goal. Flicking header, and I thought they were really dangerous the first 15, 20 minutes, and we had to make changes. And we dealt with it well. And they probably could have gone on and got something from it in the last. We made one of our defenders made 2 errors that really probably could have cost us the points. But we had many chances. I thought we were better in the second half than them, and we put our chance away, I guess. And we probably could have had a couple more, but it was back and forward, and it was a good game. I think from a neutral perspective, it would have been fantastic to watch. It had a bit of everything in it, which was always nice. But I'm happy. Always happy to get 3 points.
When you said you had to make changes, are you able to give a little insight as to what that could be?
I started. We started 2 boys on. We changed a lot actually to play against Caloundra. We changed 4 or 5 starting players in different positions. We completely flipped it. I thought maybe it might work, and Caloundra, just were too strong in the air. So I had to change it and get a defender back into an area where I thought we were going to have the ball more. And once we did that, and we put a big, strong defender in there to stop the crosses coming in, stop deliveries, then stop them from knocking the ball. If you watch the highlights, they weren't able to penetrate us in the air as much. We dealt with Ethan a lot better, and made him force him to go wide and pick up the ball in wide areas. And he was, I wouldn't say ineffective. He's still effective. I just think his game's a lot stronger in the central areas. He's a big, tall presence, and he brings people into the game. If you can force him wide and make him have to go get the ball out wide and starve him from getting the ball centrally, essentially you can stop them from having an aerial threat. So literally, it was just 20 minutes into the game, and you don't like doing it to a player, but I had to explain to him at half time, and obviously he was annoyed. But it is what it is, and you have to do it sometimes to effectively try and win a game. So it worked. You know, it could easily have gone the other way, but it worked, and the rest is history, I guess. So.
All right. Looking at some of the other results, Noosa rolled on with a 2-0 win over Kawana. Gympie United had a 2-1 win over Maroochydore. I suspect you might about that one.
I got them all wrong. I mean, Phil, I got Maroochydore wrong. I got the Gympie one wrong. I mean, Noosa, I think, look, that's a given. But, yeah, I picked those two completely wrong in the sense of I thought Maroochydore would be too strong. But, hey, it's
if Gympie have their best players out and they get their attitude right, they can.
Oh, of course,
they can cause problems.
Kai's got a good. If he get them playing, I mean, they're structured well. They work hard. I mean, we had tough time with them.
Well, Budrum lost 1-0 to them earlier in the season. Last kick of the game, missed chances. Like I said earlier with the Wanderers, you've got to take the chances against these times because the thing about Gympie is they always stay in a game. And if you allow them to stay in the game, then there's a chance that they'll catch you at some point because they've got decent players. Adam Cross is still a decent player. They've got a couple of good midfielders as well.
I like him. I think I know Kai speaks highly of him. I think he's a good player. Billy's in there.
Billy's a good player. He's a leader in the midfield as well. So, and I think Kyle likes that sort of player and the ones that just don't stop. They just keep going, and that's probably what he was like when he was playing as well. So I think they're sort of like they're players that he admires because they never give in, and that's what Gympie's got all the way through. And if you give them a sniff, then they'll take it.
This competition, as you said, I think last week, anyone can beat anyone. It depends on how you turn up on the week. I mean, it's just that Noosa, I guess, have always been that side that have just been the most consistent side. I think that's the difference. I think between why they've won so many compared to everyone else is consistency. They're consistently able to get the results when maybe they shouldn't. That's why they've been so successful.
The other match that was played on the weekend was the local derby between Woombai FC and Nambour Yandina, and it was the Snakies that came away with the 2-1 win. Where's Kev when we need him?
Kev would have been all over that. He'd said all over that like a rash.
I think it's
apparently it was a decent game of football as well, but you always get a good game between those two. If I'd have been able to go and watch that, I would have gone and watched. That would have probably been the game I would have gone to watch. No disrespect to that, DK, but
no, I agree with you. I think
like there's passion involved in that, and then both sides would have been fired up, and it would have been good to watch.
I think both crowds would have been giving it to each other as well. I
think
for sure. That atmosphere. I've played for Woombai before, so I know what it's like down there. It's a good atmosphere. It's a good I say family club. They all get in there. They all get behind it. So it's a good place to go. Like NYU and Woombai, both great places to go to play some football because.
The crowd's right on top of you, more or less, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, I like it. I don't mind.
Right next to the side of the field, like next to the clubhouse. I mean, so it's a tough place. Both tough places to go, isn't it? But I think that would have been a great game to watch.
Sure.
All right, and that result catapults Woombai into mid-table obscurity in 6th place. Leapfrogging Nambour Yandina, Kawana in 8th, and Gympie United catching up a little bit as well with that win on the weekend. So let's have a look at this weekend's fixtures. And the one that sticks out like a sore thumb is BG's up against Noosa. Daniel, discuss.
Let's hope they're on a bad night. Look, it's like anything. The boys are always confident. I can't fault my team. We train and we play with everything, and they turn up and they're always keen. I mean, I will tell you right now, they'll turn up. They'll be hungry. They'll be keen to get at them. But it's like anything. Hopefully the stars align and we can get something from them. I think the biggest thing for us is we've got nothing to lose. At the end of the day, they are 9 points clear. We're going to throw the kitchen sink at them and just go for it and make sure we try and get something from it. I think that's all you can do. You know, really at the moment they're 9 points clear. They are the team to beat. You know, we'll see how we go. Look, Cam's in great form. I mean, if they can nullify him, you know, it's going to make it hard. But I just everyone's tried and he's still scoring. So I don't know. Give him half a sniff. That's all we're going to need. And you know, I back him. I back him to the hills and back to get something from it. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll turn up and yeah, hopefully we get up for it and they're not as up for it and we can get some points on the board and bring them back down to us.
and Badram, we'll be hoping for that as well if they get a result.
I think everyone secretly, as much as there might be that little bit towards us, you know, with how we are, I think there's still everyone will be hoping that we can at least pin them back, bring them back down to the level, and give everyone another sniff. I think that's the big thing. As I said to you last week, make the league interesting. I think if we can do something and get that break that duck of them, and I don't know, it'll give everyone a little bit of hope, and hopefully everyone can, you know, find their little something. And you never know. Football's a funny game.
Phil, what would the Butterham players have done last week on their bye? Would they have just not thought about football? Would they have shown up to other games? Was there a bonding session? I
would imagine the Mountain Creek Tavern would have been quite busy on Saturday afternoon. No, I'm not suggesting anything. I just think that when there was a game called off the week before, the boy said, right, game called off, kick off now, 11 o'clock at the Mountain Creek Tavern. So who knows? Pokies would have got a slap in, I expect, and a few bets on races around the country.
Most local teams, I'd say.
Yeah, I think there's a good spirit within the team. They all get on pretty well together. Most of them have grown up together as mates on the football field and off it. So they would have probably got together and had a few beers on the weekend, enjoy their weekend off, and got back into training with this week with you know, the local rivals Maroochydore coming up on Saturday.
So how do you see that one going?
Yeah, I mean
you'll get them. They're wounded.
Well, after last week when they played Gympie, losing to Gympie, who knows? But just got to keep that in, you know, that intensity going as well this weekend. They've had 2 wins on a row, Budrum, so maybe they'll hopefully things happen in 3. We can get a 3rd win on the trot, and that will close the. We've got a game in hand, I think, on the 2 above us. So
yeah, on us and Noosa.
If we win that, then we could go back into 2nd on goal difference, or what I think it is. So, and if well, it depends on whether BG's get the result on against Noosa, which I'm sure most people will be hoping for, so we can get Noosa back in the pack, somewhere near it anyway.
In the other matches, Caloundra are hosting Nambour Yandina, and a game that takes on a bit more significance now with Gympie United hosting Woombai.
That'd be interesting, that game.
Yeah, stick your neck out on this one, DK. Who you
is it at Gympie or is it at Woombai?
It is at Gympie.
I'm going to go Gympie.
What about you, Phil?
Yeah, I think I'm with DK on that one. I'm going Gympie too.
I think it'll be a 2-1.
Yeah, it's going to be a tight game because I think Luke's back. Luke Alderson's back for Woombai, so they'll look to him to score the goals as usual. And they've had a decent run of form as well, Woombai. You know, they were unlucky not get at least a draw against Budrum the other week.
Well, I see Walton's back there as well.
Yeah, Josh Walton's there, and Mitch Innocent's there as well. So they've got a lot of experience in that side, and a few younger players as well. So they won't go down without a fight. But I reckon that'd be quite a good game, that Gympie Woombai game. The place, you know, be non-stop football, that's for sure.
Yeah, end to end.
End to end, yeah.
So who's Calandra's got? NYU.
NYU, yeah.
Looking at I look at Calandra against us. Obviously they had their Kobe and Ethan and all that, and they should do a job there. I personally think they should. I think their quality that they've got there is quite good. But NYU's always been one of those tough sides. Look, Jacob Vilic, if he's playing, if he's there upside, he only needs. I mean, did he play last week? So I don't even know if he played last week. I was so concentrated on us.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But yeah, he's given a sniffer of the goal, and he's like Luke. He's a good finisher, and he'll take his chances when they come up. So you can't give him too much space. Calandra, it'd be interesting to see that game too, because you've got two decent strikers. Ethan's a top quality striker. He probably should be playing at a higher level. And then Jacob as well. So
same. Cam's probably the same, and I know Cam will be telling me, he's like, I hope none of them score. I hope they both. I hope they both don't hit any balls in the back of net. I know he's been watching it closely.
Yeah.
But they're both. Yeah, if both teams are on going forward, that could be a goal fest.
It could be. That could be finish a 4-4.
Yeah, I could easily see that happening. If both teams going forward, there's goals there to be had for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Kwana are the team that have the bye this weekend. Now let's wrap up the show by looking at McDonald's Premier Women. And it was a double for the BGs on the weekend. A good win for Corey Robbins' team with a 2-0 win away at Nambour Yandina.
It was. He told me, I know he's quite happy about it. He was very happy about it, actually. He was strutting around training. But I know he still is. There's more work to be done. Like, I think it was the result that they needed, but I think it's more that Maroochydore. I think he just wants. I think they just need to keep winning. I think that's the big thing, is to keep the pressure on. And I know he's very happy about it. So can't complain with that. I think it's like anything when he comes into training, he's got a big smile across his face. So it's always good for me too. I love it when he wins, because then training's a little bit more fun.
Trains harder. In other results, Gympie United had a 9-0 win over Woombai, and Maroochydore maintained their place on top of the league with a 5-1 victory over Calandra. Taking a look at the ladder, it's now a 5-point gap with Maroochydore on top over NYU. BGs are in third place, a further 4 points back. Having a quick look at this weekend's fixtures, we've got Calandra up against NYU, Maroochydore up against Gympie, and Woombai against BGs. So I guess the most interesting match out of that one would probably be Calandra up against Nambour Yandina to see if the Reds can bounce back.
Well, I know Corey said to me he's hoping that Calandra do a job over them, so it can sort of give them. I mean, he's obviously. I think their game is. It's no offense to Woombai, but it's like anything. I think they're in their rebuild stage and they're losing games comfortably. But I think he just knows that they're going to get 3 points. Hopefully he can. He said that he's hoping that Calandra do something there. Or he said draws. He loves draws. Well, yeah, I think it's like anything. I think Maroochydore should win. Yeah, they're too strong at the moment, but I think he just was hoping that he can get back into second at least put some pressure on there. I guess it's the same situation. I guess what we're in. You want to peg back the leaders and try and make it as close as possible and close that gap between all the sides. But yeah, we'll see. That game will probably be the game to watch, though. Definitely be Calandra and NYU.
All right, gentlemen, that's our show for this evening. But before we go, one more question. What's your sure thing for the weekend?
Sure thing.
My sure thing that Kevin will get upset at some point during the game at Noosa, I reckon.
Oh, definitely. That's a guarantee.
That's a guarantee.
So will I, probably. No.
Yeah, you probably will as well. And
what's a sure? I'm trying to think what could be a sure thing.
I think it's a sure thing that Luke Alderson will score against Gympie.
That's a good call.
That's my sure thing.
I'm going to say it's a sure thing that Cam scores tonight on the weekend.
There you go.
There you go.
my sure thing, I reckon the Fire are going to get up against Southside Eagles this weekend.
But just to give the new coach a boost before he joins.
We'll see.
We will see. Hopefully the reveal next week.
Well, the drummer's rolling.
The old Sunshine Coast rumour mill.
The drummer's rolling.
That's our show for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Look Finance SEQFC Preview Show with thanks to Vilic Law. We will see you next week.